He said, this time I want to do things right. I want to be a man. I want to take care of the family. I want to take care of the kids. But my problem was I had just established myself. I got my own house. I had a car
in the
United States.
Sure.
Once he left to Germany, I got the kids a nice school. I had my family there supporting me. My dad's a pastor. He has a daycare. I had every bit of support that I could ask for. But the only thing that I was missing, that I still felt like was a missing piece of the puzzle, was my husband. You know.
For your children.
For my children.
Yeah.
For my children. I wanted them to have a right family.
Okay. And then you came over, and what happened?
I came over. In the first 3 weeks, it was good. And after that, he started to put me down again. And the abuse began starting. And 3 months after being here, he socked me one time in my leg. And after that one hit, I said, that's it. In my mind, I knew that that was it. And I called the embassy, and I was asking for help. But I was informed that the first thing I would need to do in order for help is to call the German authorities.
The German police?
The German police.
So, just let me say, you are now explaining, you will explain to us what happened on Friday, on Saturday, and on Sunday. What achieved German authorities to do within a weekend.
Clockwork,
yeah. You had problem, so you called the US Embassy, and the US Embassy responded to you, well, we can't do anything for you, what you have to do is to call the German police, and you did it.
Exactly.
And what happened after?
It was a Friday evening. I was over at my friend's house. I had just gotten home from school. I called the embassy first. They told me to call the German police. I called the German police, and they said they were coming over to take a report. They came over to take a report.
On the same night?
On the same night. It was a Friday night. And they took the report. I went to my old Wohnung. When I went to the apartment, my ex was there. I grabbed some clothes, and they told him to stay away from me. Mm-hmm. I basically just got clothes for the children and one outfit for myself. They said, don't pack any more clothes. You can come back and we'll help you to get it later. They took my children and myself over to a Frauenhaus in Gütersloh.
But just one question. So this happened on
shelter.
A woman's shelter.
Yeah. Woman's shelter. This happened on Saturday, right?
This happened on Friday. On Friday. The same night that I made the call to the embassy. Okay. I was doing what they said because I just wanted their help. I went and they took me to the Frauenhaus. I stayed there for an hour. After an hour, the police called me at the Frauenhaus, and they said that I was going to be getting a call from the Jugendamt. And I didn't understand. I didn't know what that was, you know. And about an hour later, it was about 11:30 at night, a lady from the Jugendamt called and said that she was coming to pick up my kids in the morning.
On Saturday, on Sunday, on Saturday.
She said she was coming on Saturday to pick up my kids.
That is to say, the German Jugendamt.
The German Jugendamt.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know what this was.
You might have thought it was a child protective service of some kind.
I thought it was. But I didn't understand why, because I didn't do anything. And my children are American citizens. I'm an American citizen. I was abused. And I felt like my rights were taken away. And,
was there a court order, or? There
was no court order.
Uh-huh.
But this lady told me if I didn't give my kids up, then I can go to jail, and there was a possibility that I would never be able to see my kids again.
So, she threatened you?
Threatened you?
Yes.
And what did you do then?
I took my children in the room and I prayed, and I couldn't call my family because I didn't even have €1.
Did they say you had a right to a
they didn't say anything at that point.
Yeah.
But then the lady Sunday morning came. I laid with my kids the whole night, but I didn't sleep because I didn't know what I was going to do.
On Sunday morning?
Yeah, on Saturday night.
On Saturday night, right.
No, that was on Friday night, I'm sorry. On Friday night. On Saturday morning, the day after making a phone call to the embassy and all of this confusion, they came and they picked up my kids.
Just like that.
And they took them to a foster home.
To foster home?
Yeah, and I began to cry. And I was talking to this lady, but she only spoke German. And I only spoke English. And I was trying to understand what was going on, but I couldn't understand.
You could not defend yourself?
No, and I said, and then there was one lady at the house who was trying to interpret for me, what the lady was saying, and she was looking at me and she said, if you can't control yourself from your crying, then I'm going to call a clinic and they're going to take me to a psychological clinic.
A psychiatrist?
Yeah.
For forced treatment. Yeah.
And I was scared. I was scared to not. I didn't give her the kids, but I mean, she took them. She took them from me at this place. I thought it was a safe place, and they just came and this young and up, and they took my children. But I was under the impression, we're American citizens. We've only been here for a couple of months, and all of my rights were taken away. I didn't even feel like a person.
Without any court decision, right?
No court decision. They took my kids to a...
Listen, Philecia,
yes.
do you remember the name of that lady?
Her name is Frau Steinemeyer.
Steinemeyer, working for the Jugendamt in which town?
In Gütersloh.
Gütersloh, Germany.
Yes.
Okay. So, were people around you as they have taken away your children? What was the reaction of those people? Or were you alone together with that lady from the Jugendamt?
It was just me and her. And
her,
yes,
okay.
One lady from this house where I was at.
Yeah, all right. Listen, what happened then, later, on the next day, on Sunday?
Sunday morning, no, on Saturday, when she took the children, she said that I was to be at the courthouse on Sunday morning.
On Sunday?
Sunday morning.
On a Sunday?
Without a lawyer?
Sunday morning, they said that a lawyer was going to show up.
For you?
For me.
With the translator, perhaps?
Yeah, with the door major.
Door major. Good.
And I went to the courthouse, and before I went to court, I had to go to the Young and Abin office.
To the Jugendamt?
I went there, and I saw...
With your lawyer?
No, I went there alone.
Great.
And I went to the Young and Abin office, which is right across the street from the courthouse. I went there, and they asked me questions, weird questions. Have I ever been on drugs? And they asked me, do I have any psychological issues? And, just weird questions. And I responded, of course, no. I'm a nurse and I have to take drug tests. I never did drugs in my life,
Now, they wanted to make out of you a very bad person.
Of course.
A bad mother.
Of course.
Did they have any evidences?
No.
No. So.
It was my ex-husband and his family.
Yeah. What was the worst question they asked you in that Jugendamt?
Did I ever drug my children?
Drug your children? And then what happened then? You went out of the office and you were brought to the court, right? Or you went to the court?
I went out of the office and I walked together. I never saw Frau Steinemeyer again.
From the Jugendamt?
I never saw her again. She only came and took my children and they gave my case to a lady, a different lady.
How is the name of this new lady?
Frau Heinemann.
Heinemann. Okay.
And then you could consult with your lawyer, perhaps?
Not at that point. I met her at the courthouse.
Before you went in front of a judge?
Before I went in front of a judge.
As if you had a traffic accident or something?
I went there on a Sunday, and I was the only person in the courthouse besides the people that were dealing with my case.